Hi guys, and welcome to episode 3 of my tabletop RPG game recap with Journey Through Kanto, a Pokémon tabletop RPG game. And today we're going through session 4. Now, we last left off at just have hit Viridian City, have some contact with our families, some successful giving money, like Rain, because he had a lovely conversation with his mother, except for when he told her that they had encountered bad guys. She, as a good mother should be, got concerned about the encounter and pleaded a bit with Rain to not chasing that, which Rain replied like he's not trying to. It was a fortunate situation, and well, he will not let them take Sevika or another person's Pokemon. That's not in his nature. He doesn't like bad guys, and good guys need to be protected, so he's gonna stand his ground. Which, fair, my concern, understood, but still, please do go to call the cops or stuff like that. Like a good mom should, because no mother wants to see the child try to fight bad guys, because usually that doesn't end well. In Pokemon world, could go well if you are the chosen one, mostly. But outside Pokemon world, do not fight bad guys if you don't like. If you have options, use the other options. Anyway, I think Max maybe got some luck. I don't remember correctly. I think Go had some good conversation with his parents. Max says, "No, we ain't sending you money. Like, you haven't heard from us since you went to Kanto, and the first thing you said when you say hello, it's not even saying hi. It's just giving money. No, that's not good. So he's gonna have to work on his way of speaking to his family, but we're teenagers. Sometimes we don't do what we're supposed to do, but sometimes we're lucky, sometimes we're not. Anyway, so that is mostly how day 1 in Viridian City happened. Second day, we all had things to do. Like, I think Sydney went to do a bonding with her new Pichu, which is named Paprika. Rain and Sevika was training. I think Max and Go went a few hours looking for berries. Then when we came back, I think Max went to do some gym training with battle gym trainers at the gym, which is not necessarily anything for a challenge, but it's just to train and gain some experience and some money. And I think Go went just keep. I think it was. I don't know if he has enough for training there, but he's more like went to sell part of the berries he found to get some money back. And well, they left the rest with Max, since those two that were searching for the berries, and I think they wanted to have a bit with us, me and Cindy as well, but Rain went with the figure like, if something that do not cost much, when you resell it or stuff like that, you keep it, you find it, you keep it. If it's something that can generate a lot of money, like a nugget or something like that, then it's okay if you want to share. But small things like berries, stuff that do not share, that is yours. And same with gym. A battle money you earn and stuff like that, you do not share that with the other. We are newly friends and stuff like that, but that is your money. You fought for it, you keep it. If you find berries and stuff like that you can sell for some return cash, you keep it as well. I also say, okay, if you really want to, it's fine. But if it's a battle from trainers, gym leaders, etc., etc., that money is yours. You keep it for yourself. But things cost in the Pokemon world. If you want special items for, give them to hold Pokeballs, more specialized Pokeballs, TMs, vitamins, XP candy, and stuff like that, you need money. So trainer battles, gym battles, that money is yours. Do not share it. And you doesn't have to do it with berries and stuff like that. That's yours to find. But if you find items you want to sell and then split it with the party, that's totally up to you. I would say that's fair. If you want to give us something for things you find, that's up to you. But battle money, no. We had a bit of discussion on that anyway, so far with that, and all folk went to agreement. Big stuff we find, we can share. If you want to, small stuff, more likely we keep, but if it's really like you need like a berry too to heal your Pokemon and stuff like that, that's fine. That's me. And all battle monies we keep for ourselves. So on the second day, realizing that right now Go is the only one that only had one Pokemon, he went out and he did some rolls, did some search to find out that in Route 2 there are actually some ciphers. Rare, you have more chance of finding in Viridian City, Viridian Forest, I mean. But I went to Route 1 or Route 2 to search for ciphers. Him and Max. Rain? Well, he decided... Actually, it was the day before. He decided to challenge the gym. And mostly because he's there, he felt he was ready. So he booked an appointment for early in the morning, stream the first battle of the day. So he had to go up really early because you have to be about like half an hour before your match to get ready and stuff like that in the waiting room and stuff. And Sydney, out of blue, also, okay, if he does, I do it. So she got an appointment at 2 o'clock. So the morning went, we have breakfast and stuff like that. Max and Go went out to search for berries and Pokemon, specifically Cypher. Rain went to the gym since 6:30 to just try his luck. And he went with his Vic, of course, because that's not the number one Pokemon he has. Dewey's Pichu is also there, but he wanted to have his first match with Civica, which is his starter Pokemon. And turns out this is a dark type gym, which was surprising. But again, it's been many years, so anything would be a surprise for any of us, as we have not dealt with a Kanto region before, at least in this game. So then we went on to that, and I met the gym leader named Blight. Longest reigning gym leader at this gym. I think 10 years now he has been a gym leader, which is a long career apparently. But he's been doing good. He asked me if I've done any research about this, and Rain says no. He decided to wing it. So, now we come to the match. And in this day and age, in this Pokemon world, even in Kanto, is more like Galar region. Means there's a stadium, there's a stage, fans can go and watch and stuff like that. And you write the consent letter to say, being allowed to film your match, which Rain did. See, it's not a big deal. Being the one-arm man that beat the gym leader with his starter Pokemon sounds like a good start for a new champion, hopefully, in the end. But at this early in the morning, there's not many people that comes watching the matches, so there's Cindy that cheers for me, and some gym trainers for Blight. And here it comes. He rises up. I don't know. I go inside to my place where I'm gonna stand for the match, and he's in the middle of the ring on a stone throne. Yeah, a bit of the etchy vibe there, because this is Dark type gym leader. Of course, it's gonna be a bit there. Goofy and edgy and stuff like that. And my Savika's opponent is a Murkrow. Doesn't seem that bad. Except for one thing. Murkrow can fly. Which means, again, which has been much things lately for Savika, she cannot use her strongest stat to attack Pokemon with. She can use her Water Gun move, of course, which is Stab, which gives 3 minor wounds. And 3 minor wound is 1 major wound. If you take 9 minors, you're fainted, basically. So we are going through stuff for a match. I'm doing Water Gun, to say that. Mercury does some cool moves, some range moves. One time, 2 times it was close. I didn't see it. Forgot about it, so I didn't use anything, because at the time Mercury was close enough for me to try to scratch it. It had come to the part of the match like I just need one more Water Gun. As how I'm thinking right now, I just need one more Water Gun and it's knocked out. Fortunately, I missed that one. It landed an attack, then I managed to land one more Water Gun. And here's what it kicks in. For me, or the knowledge is dumped on us, that an ace Pokemon of a gym leader can take one more major wound. So instead of 9 wounds, it can take 12. Now, at this stage of our career, is going to be a one-on-one match. So that means that Pokemon he says out is automatically his ace Pokemon. Which also means now I have to land one more Water Gun. And he tries, I think it's a Dark Pulse or Snarl. I can't remember. It was a Dark type move. He misses the move. And here we see his archetype. And this gym leader has the archetype Expert. Which means I think there was one time during the match he can either make a move that hit, or a move that hit a crit. And so he uses that ability to hit. Which now makes, if I don't use my last friendship points, means Savika gets knocked out. So I'm using my last friendship point to make sure I can go one more round, and hit with this and we are not in this stage that Savika needs to hit one more Water Gun to win, and the Murkrow needs to be able to dodge the Water Gun and then hit Savika with one of its moves, and then this fight's over. And so we do the rolls. Savika misses, Murkrow does not. I have no longer friendship points to spend to knock out damage, or take away damage, so Civica faints. But in contrast to the back, if you make this to more cinematic, that means it's been a 30-minute fight between a Tordot and a Murkrow, and we both went to the absolute last move that needed to hit or to win. But unfortunately, Civica lost. It stinged a bit, but I learned a valuable lesson. And being close to victory when you're just winging it, I saw that as a win. I realized something I needed to. Now I need to like work move I would need in the future. I'm like, okay, let's train a bit, get that move, and hopefully readjust and go battle again. Now we go to Max and Go, who is out searching for berries and Pokemon, and they find berries, nice couple of berries. I think there was some Pekka berries, some cherry berries, some lum berries, even a Leppa berry they found, which is good in Pokemon because you restore some PP. And PP in this game are lowered because otherwise they would be too, I don't know, easy and calm to use the moves. For instance, normally Ice Fang, which I learned, I'm hoping to teach Civica later on, in the games has 15 PPs. You have 15 times you can use Ice Fang. In this tabletop RPG games, Ice Fang has only 3. It means you only have 3 uses of it. Then that move is no longer there until if you don't have Leppa bears or stuff like that that can restore its PP, or have enough money to do a PP max, which increases a move's PP with 150%. That would be nice, but I don't have that money count now. I don't. So they're finding berries. They didn't find any cipher or any Pokemon. And then we come to later on around 12, 10, stuff like that. And during this journey, we have realized how easily distracted Cindy gets. So Rain made sure, like, bang, bang, bang on the door. Come on, time to prep, eat your food, eat your dinner. We need to make sure you get to the gym on time. And even getting to the gym was more like, she was starting to sway from the path. And Rain goes, Cindy, gym here. Right, okay. Like, Cindy as a character, I adore this character. I do love like some of the airheadedness characters that are in anime and stuff like that, because they just make the time flow by and having fun all the time. You can always laugh at those characters, not in a bad way, always in a good way, because almost like Luffy and so like you're supposed to go that way and somehow you went down, and now when correcting you, you are back where you're beginning, but slightly to the east. Okay, grab, drag. And as Rain, Civica wings it, and she chooses to use her Pichu. Now Rain made sure to like sit down while she was waiting for her turn, and saw that the Blade users had also in around many of his teams a Sableye and an Absol. So he's like, okay, now I know 2 more Pokemon. So there's 3 Pokemon. One that's not really. So now we come to Sinister and Paprika. And she went down there and goes, yep, here's me. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen. Blight sends out the Houndour. Now, Rain is at this time. No, okay. He has 4 Pokemon. But he is a bit of a different mindset right now because he knows he wants Ice Fang on Civica. He wants his girl to learn that. So while just thinking about the move he wants to teach Civica, he kind of forgets that Houndour is a fire Pokemon, so Civica's water type does more damage. Which is gonna be a fun conversation next session. But that's how it's kind of like, okay. Okay. So, the fight begins. And early on, Houndour managed to hit Amber and managed to burn Paprika. But also, Paprika hits his Thundershock and managed to paralyze Houndour. And from this point on, Sydney does a really smart play here. She starts to use her advantage in range. See, Amber has a range of 8, but Thundershock has a range of 10. And hit anything with 2 squares on the target it hits. So not maybe the best move to use if you have double battles, you have someone that is always close to the target. But at this one point in the story, no problem at all. We can always see what happens. And what happened is, a couple of rounds is Houndour try to get close, but can't really get there. And when it gets there, it tries Embers. Do not hit at all. But here's the thing. We are not allowed to use items in battle. Or it is not allowed to have any held items, what I remember. I don't know if you could use items. That wasn't... I think we couldn't, but hey, DM, if you watch this, you can always comment down below. Were we allowed to use berries? Or was just no held items, no use, and no using items at all at battles? Just remind me as well, please. So, Paprika, even though it gets not hit by Ember, still takes damage from burn. But the other negative effect of burns is your physical moves are reduced damage on. But Civica, no, sorry. It's not Civica, it's Paprika, only has Thundershock. So, and also you use the Charm on Houndour, which means -4 to physical attack. And that means, thanks to his howl as well early on, it is now -2. And is paralyzed and gets paralyzed quite a bit. It will get more paralyzed. So getting there, and like he didn't use his expert battle thing this time, which I think was a small mistake, because that I think with a crit and a burn damage later, that would take out Paprika, if I remember correctly with the wounds and stuff like that, because I kind of think I might be a slight problem player in that regard. Because he kind of clocked that before early on in earlier sessions. You know, he had to tell me not to look at the dice. Because in this game, when you roll a dice, you do add your rank to the number. So if you roll attack die who is a d6 and you roll a 5 and have a rank 2, that means you roll a 7. Which means I could determine the rank on a Pokemon I'm facing, or animals facing for that matter, just to see what he rolled and what pluses he said or what the total number was. I don't know if it didn't actually make me a bad player, it was just like, we don't use a DM screen, so it's easy for me to see the dice, and my math head just go ahead, oh, we're facing that. I think he's one where, like, early on, I might have said it in a way like, oh, you metagame, you're telling people what rank the Pokemon is, you should not know that. Which is correct. Rain should not know which rank the Pokemon is. Patrick, the player, knows because he can do math. But Rain should not know which rank this is. The only thing he should know is he hit or he missed. Or vice versa, they hit or they missed. Thanks to whatever they rolled. So, with outside perspective, yeah, if he had just that crit hit and then the burn, the Gimli would have won. But thankfully he didn't do it. So, with one last Thundershock hit, Paprika wins. And so, as we're celebrating, waiting to the end part of this, and we're all making like how 2 new trainers just went inside the gym, decided to wing it. One barely lost. One barely won. Though we probably said it in a way like, oh, it was a slightly easier win. But here's the thing. He hit one last Ember. And as I said, outside perspective, after the battle, if he had decided to make that hit a crit, and then afterwards she get a burn damage, Paprika would have fainted. And she would have lost. So that's how we just like. So in hindsight of my match as well later on, it was like, okay, yeah, it was like I needed one more hit, which around midnight when I went to sleep, I woke up barely 5 minutes after falling asleep. My head finally clicked, the light bulb went off, and oh man, I forgot to use my battle power. And as a Pokemon breeder, you have a battle power, which means during once a day, or the limit of your, I think it's badges or your trainer limit, you can cook nutritious food for your Pokemon to boost one stat. In a way that you add your education die to that stat roll. So for instance, I could not add my education die, which is D8, to my special attack stat, which just as a D4. Which means I will roll a D4 and a D8 plus 1. That clicked so late on the evening, just like went to sleep and just 1, 2, 3, boom. It clicked. Ow, I forgot that. You goofball. So now I'm laying in bed. Can't fall asleep again because now without click, my head goes super hyper alert to think how to best plan next session for me. And I went for about 2 hours thinking what move I needed, how to get there, how many friendship points would be best to be needed, and the move and stuff like that. And I was the plan like, hey, now I know one of my friends in games are gonna try to find Cypher, and Rain really wants to have a Cypher egg. So planning on next session, ask Go if he could, while he's searching for Cypher, see if he can find a nest with an egg that looks abandoned, because he doesn't want to steal an egg, because that's not legal, and Rain is not the bad guy, so he doesn't want to do it. But that's how he plans right now. And that's all for session 4 and episode 3 of these recaps I'm doing. And I hope you liked this video, and if you did, hit like and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when this absolute goofball will send out more videos. Until then, have a good evening, and bye!